All right, welcome back. Today we're gonna make some pizza. So first thing I'm gonna do is pull out the stand mixer and get that dough started because we want to let the gluten develop on the dough. I'm gonna add a lot of yeast so it can be done quicker because my wife is hungry. So yeah, let's get started. Let me turn on the lights and the fan because it'd be hot in Hawaii. Not that I'm complaining, I actually love it. I love the heat. Okay, I got some yeast up in here. Keep it in the fridge, tends to last longer. 7 grams of this. And then some hot water. 8 grams, that's totally fine. Go a little over. And 210 grams of water. Let's see, probably enough right there. Went a little bit over, but that's fine. Just add a little bit more flour. Okay, next thing. I like adding the flour next, then I'll add like this. Well, maybe I can add the sugar right now, but the salt definitely kind of added at top. So sugar. Sugar, salt, oil, flour. So let's add the sugar, 8 grams. And the sugar is gonna help, you know, the yeast have more things to eat. So it'll technically rise faster, and it'll give a little sweetness to the bread too. There you go. 7 grams is fine. So, oh, it went up to 8. That's fine. And now let's add 350 grams of flour. So this recipe, I got it from, what's his name? God, such a great YouTuber. Keep forgetting his name. Great baker. Once it comes up to me, I'll bring it back. But that guy is, I love watching that guy cook. He has great recipes. Okay, so we're gonna need 350. Again, this is gonna make 2 pizza doughs. Or 1 huge one if you'd really like. Okay, I went a little bit over. Take some out. $360 is fine because I had a little extra water. I got some bay leaves with my flour. Helps prevent any of those little bugs that grow in flour. So good to have. 5 grams of salt. Oof, went heavy on the salt. Actually, try to pinch some out. Probably won't make that big of a difference. Oh well. Let's see, and 15 grams of olive oil. Not much olive oil. Ooh, went over. Went over on everything. Was inconsistent today, but it's okay. So I did this one on a stand mixer. You can beat it by hand. Just will take a while. But on the stand mixer, it gets done pretty quickly. If you would like to start making breads, stand mixer is the way to go. Well, not necessarily. Actually, I take that back because honestly, my favorite dough recipe, I don't even need the stand mixer anymore. I kind of just do it by hand. But my flour tortilla recipe, honestly, that makes it super easy. So set this on 2, let it do its thing. Then put everything else away. Meanwhile, I'm gonna need the olive oil though. And fun fact, you can freeze your yeast and it'll be okay. Got some back here. Got a big pack at Costco. Of course, you already know me. This is gonna last me a very long time. What you can do is kind of scrape the bowl on the edges, so it's easier for it to come together. Just careful with your stand mixer. You don't want to hurt yourself. So do this with caution. It's been a while since I made pizza, so we'll see what happens. Okay, let's see. Check my recipe. Yeah, it's good to go. What I'm gonna do is get one of these because I'm gonna store half of it in there, and the other half I'll just leave it rising on here. See, there you go, it's coming together nicely. Scraping the edges. Once it's like a nice cohesive ball, probably like a minute more or so, then you're ready to divide it. Okay, that looks good to me. And once you let it rest, it's gonna go from a shaggy mess to a more smooth ball. So just give it time, be patient. Okay, having like a non-stick spatula or something like that of that nature makes it a lot easier to get this out. And then let me use some parchment paper. It's gonna make it a lot easier. Also, if you use wet hands, dough is less likely to stick to you. I mean, it'll still stick to you, but it's less likely to. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull this out. And then I'm gonna put half of it back in here to rise anyways. But I wanna split it. Try to get it into a ball right now. You gotta do this very fast or else it's gonna stick to your hand. Okay, that's good. Gonna cut it in half. My bench scraper. Half we are using today. You know what? Let me actually oil my hands. Okay. Nice and oiled. Gonna add some oil into here. It's gonna prevent it from sticking. And then add some more oil onto here. Just add it to my hands. Ooh. Yeah, even with parchment paper, it's, you know, can be quite sticky. Look at this mess. But once it's oiled, it's good. And right now it's a shaggy mess, but once it comes together, it'll be fine. And I'll probably do a few pulls in a little bit, just to build the gluten up. There you go. So now I'm gonna have to give it some time to rest, let it develop the gluten. And the gluten is just, you know, what gives the dough its shape. Because if you really think about it, when you're first doing it, this is just dough and water. I mean, flour and water. And through some magic or some actual science, comes together and it gets smooth and sticky. Oh yeah, let's distribute some of that olive oil, because this will rise, it will double in size. Okay, that's good. Let me cover this. and then it's gonna be a lot smoother, watch. So put this over here in a warm place. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit once it's kind of ready to prep all the other ingredients and get the oven started. All right, see you in a bit. All right, we are back. Let's check on that dough, how it's coming along. It's looking good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna preheat this to 500. If your oven only goes to 450, that's fine. Get it to as high as you can. It'll give you a better texture for your pizza. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and oil this, because this is where we're gonna put the pizza at. Probably not gonna do it edge to edge, because then it might be a little too thin. If I had like another smaller cooking vessel, then I would use it. Oh, you know what? This one's not safe up to 500 degrees. Okay, I'm gonna have to use another one. Probably use this one. This one's smaller. But since I already put the oil on there, I'm gonna try to soak up that oil as much as possible. So these non-stick pans right here, you don't want to put them in, like, there's a certain temperature that I can handle. I think 500 is a little too high. So what I'm gonna do is put it in here. I might just make this one round. I want this one a little doughy. I don't want it too thin. So yeah, I'll probably go this far. You can shape your pizza however you want. You can do it to edge, but I'm gonna do it this much. Use all that oil. Unfortunate. Shouldn't have, you know. Should have thought that one all the way through, but I didn't. All good though. So while that heats up, I'm gonna prepare my other ingredients like the cheese. Basil I could probably do towards the end. This is gonna have to get washed. Put a little bit of dish soap on it. Let it soak. This is gonna need to be washed as well. Put that there. Okay, we got jalapenos. We're gonna need cheese. We're gonna need to make some sauce. Let me burp this one out. Yeah, I use mozzarella string cheese. There ain't no shame in that. Yes, I know some people are gonna be like, damn, all bad. Like he makes his own dough and everything, but he uses mozzarella string cheese. Reason I use it is I like it as a quick snack. It's easy, it's convenient. And then since they're individually wrapped, they last a lot longer. Because I'm not gonna go through a whole block of mozzarella cheese at a time. So yeah, I'm also gonna throw some pickled purple onions on here. Bought some basil today, which kind of inspired the reason why I'm doing this. Smells so good. And pepperonis. Got some huge thick pepperonis I got from Sam's Club pretty recently, so these are probably gonna be my ingredients right here. So while that heats up, I'm gonna start breaking down the cheese, and then I'm gonna make my tomato sauce. I'm all about having pantry staples and making the best of them. You know, I could use these things in a lot of Mexican food, tacos as garnishes. This I can make into quesadillas. I can make it for, you know, pizza. This I can help use it for like pasta sauce, pizza sauce. I can use it for Mexican rice. So like salsas, I can use it for so much. So I love using tomato paste, and I'm gonna show you how you can turn this tomato paste into, like, you know, a marinara sauce really quickly without even having to cook it. Of course, you know, if you get some nice tomatoes and you cook it down, it's gonna be much nicer, but hey, there's nothing wrong with doing it this way, especially if it's quick and easy. So what you need is a spoon, like a deli container like this, because right now it's in paste form, right? We got to get it to sauce consistency. Paste is very thick, very concentrated. So what do we do to like not have some, what's the opposite of concentrate? Something that's diluted. So if you dilute it, yeah, probably just add some water. So you'll watch the consistency change into more of a marinara consistency, lighter red. But before I do that, I'm gonna add my seasonings. I'll probably add the basil at the end. I'm gonna add basil for sure. You wanna use the rest of this, add it. Oh yeah, let me double check. Am I recording? Yeah, I see the red light on there. Fill this up. You know, it might be like, oh Eddie, that's a lot of water. Believe me, this paste is very, you know, very concentrated. You'll want to add some water and dilute it. The Mexican MSG, the Nor Caldo de Pollo seasoning, trust me, this sauce is gonna make a lot. So just like a whole spoonful in there. Probably add some black pepper. Ooh, I'm gonna probably put some garlic in here too. Let's see. A little bit of garlic powder and actual some raw garlic as well. And again, with your tomato sauce, do whatever you want with it. There's no rules. So see how I'm mixing it? It's more of a marinara consistency now. It could probably still use some more water, in my opinion. Still a little thick, in my opinion. It reminds me of, you know, the sauces I used to get with the Lunchables. So let me get a little bit more water on there. Usually when I use a can of tomato paste like this, it'll be enough water, enough sauce for 2 pizzas. 2 pizzas at that size. There you go. Okay, that's ready. Well, not ready, but part of it's completed. Grab some garlic. Uh-oh, should have closed that well. I'm just gonna put like 1 garlic in there. Screw it, might as well use 2. You put as much garlic as you want, but I will put a lot of basil in it, that's for sure. Get my cutting board, my knife. So I like cutting the edges off for my garlic, and makes it easier to pull off the, you know, the skin. So I cut one edge, cut the other edge, skins come right off. That's my favorite way to do it. So now, give it several cuts, turn it on its side, give it another several cuts, watch your fingers, and that's gonna make it a lot easier to cut it nice and thinly. And then I'm gonna add it to the sauce like this. You could cook your garlic down if you like. I like it like this, it's totally fine. Especially if you mince it very small. Give it another run through. I'm not a, you know, most of the times I don't judge, but you don't want to buy your garlic in that jarred garlic. I feel like it just loses the flavor really quickly. I'm not someone to judge like that, but that's the only time that I'm like, I don't know. And if you don't like garlic, you don't have to add garlic. You know, think that was a pretty big garlic, so I think that's all I'm gonna do. Probably save another garlic for another time for a salsa. Okay, now let's get some basil while that's still preheating. So let's teach you the technique to how you cut your basil. Okay, get some kitchen shears, because if you cut it in a certain way, it's gonna encourage growth for your basil, and then you can have this basil last a lot longer, right? So with basil, you want it to grow wide, not tall, because once it gets tall, it's gonna be giving off the flowers and then it's gonna lose its flavor. So what you wanna do is cut it like right next to the new growth. So I don't want it to be this tall, I don't want those. I'm gonna actually use those for this. So I'm gonna cut it like right there, making sure I don't cut those new pieces of growth, because those are gonna go outwards. Next, I'm gonna grab the next tallest one. I'm gonna throw some of the basil into my sauce. I'm gonna use some to top it off at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this one right here. Boom. Let's see. Is there growth on this one? Okay, perfect. I'm gonna cut this one right here. Oh, and it smells amazing. Cut this one right here. And then wash your basil afterwards. Cut this one right here. Be gentle, try not to cut the little baby leaves. And yeah, this is gonna end up growing wider. You know what, I'll probably cut a little bit more because I love basil. There you go. This one fell on my foot. I'm not using this. Okay, let's go ahead and give this basil a wash. You don't want any dirt, bugs. Make sure you try to wash each leaf individually. Or if you have like a salad spinner, you can use that. Clean the stems. I'm all for the stems. I got nothing against it. Okay, next basil. You could use dry basil as well, but fresh basil works better. Can't really beat fresh basil, but hey, use what you got. There we go. And last piece of basil to wash. Okay, so not all of it's going in here. For sure what I'm gonna do is all the, you know, the stems, putting that into the sauce. Some of the leaves, I'll leave to the top so I can like garnish it. So this will go into the sauce. I think this will be enough to garnish right here. So this will go into the sauce right here. So I'm just gonna bunch it together. It's almost preheated. And then cut it thinly. This will be going into the sauce right here. Oh, it's ready to go. Give it one more run through. And there we go. Add that to the sauce. Probably add some olive oil to that sauce as well. And the rest of this, I will use it to top top it when it's freshly done. Okay. There we go. There's my tomato sauce for my pizza. Okay, let me set these aside. Let me move this aside. Do a little bit of cleanup. And then I gotta get started on that cheese. So once the cheese is prepared, we'll be good to go. I'm gonna cut them open with my knife so it's a lot easier to pull them out. I like my pizza very cheesy, so I'm not gonna hold back. Cheese is a preference thing. Put as much as you like. And I like pizzas with heavy toppings. I don't like very itty bitty pizzas. There's nothing against it, you know, it has its time and place, but my personal preference is, you know, cheese heavy pizzas and topping heavy pizzas. You know, I once bought one of those outdoor pizza ovens, and it was great for like Neapolitan style pizzas, the small ones, the thin ones, ones that don't have a lot of toppings, but that just wasn't for me. So let's see if this will be enough cheese. I just eyeball it. Okay, so to add the sauce, see how we turn some tomato paste into some sauce, some garlic, basil. And then you know what, I was gonna add some, what's it called? Some olive oil, but I'll just add it at the end, like a little nice drizzle. Hopefully I oiled this well enough. Uh-oh. I already feel like that might be a problem. I didn't add enough oil to the bottom of this. Well, we'll find out. If it cooks well enough, it should come off, right? I think this will be good enough cheese, because I'm not doing like a really wide pizza. Just sprinkle it on. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I can't wait to eat. The basil smells so good. So just make sure that cheese is coated evenly. There you go. Okay, now pepperonis, then on top the pickled stuff. So yeah, these are gonna be some pretty big pepperonis, so just lay them on. And then at the end, I'll add some more basil. Let's make room for more pepperonis. Like I said, I like it topping heavy. You're not ordering delivery and they're not skimping out on you, you know? Doing it at home, putting whatever you want. So there we go. And I'll just finish it with basil at the end. I'm not gonna add that right now. Some pickled purple onions. Split those up. Get some nice even coverage. Look at that. Nice colors. Another piece or two. That looks good to me. And the jalapenos that I pickled. These are, check them out on another video. Easy, very easy to make. So are the purple pickled onions as well. You want to pickle them together? You can do that too. Not a problem. Ooh, look at all that variety color. Peppercorns go in there? Totally fine. More the merrier. Uh-oh, man overboard. Me and Jackie like spicy food, so can't hold back on the jalapenos. Make sure every bite has some. And look at all those colors. Look at that. Throw some the vinegar in there for some acidity, and there you go. Pizza's good to go. This will be ready in like probably 15 minutes. It won't take long. All right, let's pop this baby in. Ooh, it's hot. Let it do its thing. I'll check up on it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna clean all this up, and I'll see you guys in about, 10 minutes ago, 10-15 minutes. All right, see you soon. All right, welcome back. So when I did this yesterday, the pizza fell apart. You probably saw it on the video if I decided to include it. Uh-oh, yeah, look at that. No, and it crumbled before our very own eyes. Didn't oil it enough. If not, here is how it should have came out. Look at that. Much nicer, right? Look at that, looks cute. Let me turn off the oven. And this time what I did differently, is that I used parchment paper, so it's easier to just slide it off. What I didn't do last time, I didn't oil this pan well enough. Remember I used the black pan that I had under here, and I oiled it way too much, and then I realized, wait, I'm not sure if it's oven safe to 500, so I decided to go with the stainless steel one, and then I thought it was enough oil to make sure it didn't stick. And this time I was like, you know what, I don't want to use that much oil. There's already a bunch of calories with the cheese and the pepperoni. I'm just gonna use parchment paper. So makes it a lot easier to pull it off. Shoot, I usually want to do a bite test right now for you guys, so let me put these away. Ooh, hot up in there. What you guys would want to do is let this cool down for a bit before cutting into it, but since there's a YouTube video and you guys want to see it, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut into it now. There you go. Into force. Ooh, how hot. Way too hot. Okay, we're just getting a thumbnail. Believe me, this is good. I've tried it several times before. So yeah, this is how you make pepperoni pizza. And well, with cheese, you can put whatever you want on it. Again, it doesn't really matter. Regardless, make your own dough. It's super cheap. Make your own sauce. It's super cheap. Pickle your own veggies. Watch the other videos I have. Eat some pizza. Live a good life. See ya. Have a great day.